So I'm going to start with the word of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Allah says, وَأُولُو الْأَرْحَامِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلَى بِبَعْضٍ فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ. In Allah's revelation, people that are connected to each other by the womb, meaning blood relations, are the closest to each other. They have priority over each other in Allah's book. What that means is that you and I are supposed to be giving the top priority to people in our family that are connected by blood. So parents, children, grandparents, uncles, etc., they take first priority, okay? I made sure that I asked all of you, those of you that have children, and those of you that have elder parents, that we invite as many of them here today as possible, because I wanted this to be something that all three generations can experience, inshallah ta'ala, okay? Allah also says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامِ. This is especially for the parents. Allah says, have taqwa of Allah. You've heard that a million times. Be aware of Allah, be cautious of Allah. And in this ayah in Surah An-Nisa, He says, have taqwa of the wombs of the mothers. In other words, all the relationships that come from birth, meaning your siblings, your parents, your children, the husband and wife relationship, all of them that have to do with the womb, be as aware of them and be as cautious about them as you are about Allah Himself. So, wattaqullah and wattaqul arham. Both of them were put together in the ayah of Surah An-Nisa, in the beginning of Surah An-Nisa. It's very powerful. So what that means is, just like in our religion, we have to make sure that we are doing right by Allah, just like that, we have to make sure we're doing right by our family, and that we're taking care of our family, and we're extra careful about matters that have to do with our family. So today's going to be a little bit different. Instead of me doing a lot of the talking, actually, it's going to be you guys that are going to be doing a lot of the talking. And it's going to get awkward and weird and, inshallah, a lot of fun at the same time. So what I'm going to explain to you first is our first activity, which is a kids activity. I need children between the ages of, I'd say, 4 and 9. I'd like 3 boys to volunteer and sit over here. Wait, I'll pick. Show me your hands if you want to come. Okay, I'll pick you, fine. You want to come? Come on. What's your name? Ismail, come. This is Ismail. What's your name? Musa. Musa, I like it. You want to come? Your name is Adam? Okay, sit. Come on. Okay, that's Adam. This is Musa, right? Musa, sit over here. And this is Ismail. You sit over there. Okay. And 3 girls. 3 brave girls. Let's go. Come on, come. Come. Who else? Anybody else? You're coming, so I guess you're volunteering. Okay, come on. What's your name? Noura? Good job, Noura. Sit over here. Asma. Very nice. Kayla? Kayla, sit over there. Okay, these are our first 3 contestants. Very good. I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you have to answer them, okay? Okay, so we're going to start with you, Ismail. What's the best part of your day with your parents? Here. Hold it close. Yeah. What's the best part of your day with your parents or your grandparents? You look at me, don't worry about them.
Playing with them.
Praying with them?
Playing.
Oh, playing. What do you play?
Fighting a little bit.
Do you win? Yeah? Pretty good. That's the best part of your day, huh? What about you? What's the best part of your day with your mom or dad or your grandparents? What do you like doing the most with them?
On the TV. Say it louder. On the TV with my daddy.
Ah, okay. A TV with them. Me too. I play video games with my boys. What do you like to do with your mom and dad? What's the best part of your day, huh?
I like to go to the park with them.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm going to eat you after the program. Okay. Thank you, Adam. That was very brave. Okay, girl side. Tell me something that makes you feel smart. Here.
Doing work?
What kind of work?
Schoolwork.
Makes you feel smart? What's your favorite class?
Grade 2.
And what's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is sleeping.
So, what makes you feel smart?
Knowing my answers for my work in school.
Oh yeah? Okay, knowing your answers for work in school, and what makes you feel smart?
Doing tests.
Ooh, you're a test taker. Very good. I used to feel really scared when I took tests. Good job. So, as we do this exercise, I want you to pay attention to something. Of course, we want to hear from our kids, and what I want you to think about is these feelings that, the best part of their day. Like, Ismail told us wrestling with his parents or fighting with them or sitting and watching TV. These are things that kids are going to remember even until they're adults, right? These small activities, the time we spend with them is really valuable. And when I asked, what makes them feel smart, and they're figuring out their homework or they're taking a test, it's important to validate our children and let them feel like they are intelligent. And to let them know that, because you can't assume that they know that on their own. You have to give them that. You have to say it to them. Anyway, so one more question for each, and this time I'll ask a different question to each child, okay? Tell me something that you know that you want us to know. Tell me some fact. Something that you learned.
At school, I learned dividing.
Okay, the Muslims are pretty good at that. Okay, Musa, what's the coolest thing about you? I mean, other than the fact that your name is Musa, what's the coolest thing about you? You don't know? Okay, I'll tell you the coolest thing about me. Want me to tell you? Okay, watch this. It's going to be embarrassing. Oh, I missed! Can you tell me the coolest thing about you? What is it?
The greatest thing about me is I like to
The suspense is growing. You like to what? The mystery continues? Okay, when you figure it out, you tell me, okay? I'm going to ask one of these girls what the greatest thing is about them, okay? Give me 5. What's the greatest thing about you?
my mommy and dad.
Oh, your mom and dad are the greatest things about you? What's the coolest thing about you?
To only have sisters.
I think my sisters feel the same way.
My favorite thing is to go to Makkah.
Oh my God! Such Islamic children. Okay. All right, thank you all three. A round of applause for our children here. Okay. You guys go back, have a seat. I need 3 more boys and 3 more girls. Okay, you 3 over here, come on. Boys. I need some girls. Come on. 2 more girls. We're running out of girls? And I only have 1. Nobody? Girls, come on. I'm waiting. Or I'm going to add my old contestants to come back. I see you. Come. Come on. And you want to come? Okay. Oh my goodness. Sit. Okay, what's your name?
Zaid.
Zaid. What's your name?
Nadir.
Hadi?
Nadi.
Nadi.
Muhammad.
Muhammad. Zaid, Nadi, and Muhammad. And what's your name?
Asma.
Asma. That's our second Asma.
Kawthar.
Kawthar.
Shura.
Ashura, mashallah. Okay, so we've got our 6 kids here, and I'm going to ask you guys a bunch of questions. You can raise your hand if you like, okay? I'll pick one person. If your friend wasn't following the rules, what would you say to them? Okay.
You better follow the rules.
That was deep. I think I'll give a khutbah about that. And if your friend felt out, or your friend, maybe you're in recess or you're playing and one of your friends feels like they're alone and nobody's talking to them and nobody's playing with them, what would you say to them? What would you say to them? Here, Ashura, what would you say to a friend that feels alone? Think. Zaid? While you're thinking, Zaid wants to try to answer. Let me see.
What are you doing?
Okay, I'll pretend to be that friend. I'll say, nothing. Then what do you say?
Go do something.
But nobody wants to do anything with me.
Then go steal some toys and play with them by yourself.
But all the kids took all the toys. What should I do?
Go play with them.
Can you play with me?
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite food? This is scary. Your parents will be judged by this answer.
What are you doing?
I'm not sure yet, but what's your favorite food? What do you like to eat? What do you like to eat? Nothing? Ice cream? Chocolate? Chips? Pizza? Found it. All right, pizza. What's your favorite food?
KFC.
KFC? Gaffer fried chicken. Okay.
Chicken and meat.
Chicken and meat. What about this side? What's your favorite food?
Tomato food.
What? What is that?
Tomato food.
It's a Cape Town thing? You're a patriotic child. Okay.
Lasagna.
Oh my God, the way you said that. What was yours again?
I don't have a favorite.
You don't have a favorite food? Think of one thing.
Nothing.
Okay. Those teeth didn't go without a favorite food. Okay, one last one, and I only need one child for this one. If one of you doesn't raise their hand, I'll find somebody in the audience to raise their hand. Tell me a good joke. This is the difference between boys and girls, by the way. If you ask them, tell me a good joke, they'll just say, okay, I'll hear 3 jokes. Let's go.
Why did the bee get married?
Why did the bee get married? I don't know. Why did the bee get married?
Because he found his new honey.
Oh! You got a future, child. You got a future. Okay.
What's your name?
Nouman.
What's your name?
Nouman.
What's this?
Nose.
What's my hand?
What?
What's my hand?
That's your hand, yeah.
What's my hand?
What's your hand?
What's my hand?
Nothing.
What's your name again?
Oh! Nouman. Where's the joke?
What's your name again?
Nouman.
Nouman knows nothing.
Oh! I get that a lot. Okay. You got a joke? No? Okay. Those are some good jokes. All right. Round of applause for these kids. Come on, guys. Go. I need 3 more boys, 3 more girls. Come on. Oh, you just kind of came on your own. Wait. No, I have to pick. I have to pick. I'll call you next. I'll call you next one. And I love the enthusiasm from the girls. Look at this. Come on, be brave. Where's the girl? There's the girl over there. Come on. Come on. It'll be fun. No? Don't want to? I can come to you. How about that? Instead of you coming in front of everybody. Anybody else? Any girls here? Nobody has girls? Too shy? Come. Yeah, the printers. Yeah. I'll run this as long as I can, and I'll use this. Okay. I've got one. She could use 2 more friends. I need some volunteers to help me find some girls. Hey, there's a girl over there. Come on. Too shy? Okay, I'll give more. There's one over there. No? Too shy? Okay. Thank you for being brave. What's your name?
Yasmin.
Yasmin. What's your name? Yusuf.
Ibrahim.
And?
Uthman,
mashallah. Beautiful names. Okay, you guys ready? How can kids make friends? Anybody know? Do you know? You don't know how the kids make friends? Here, you tell me.
By being nice to them.
What's a good answer?
By asking.
How do you ask? I'll pretend. Hey.
Would you be my friend?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Play a game.
What kind of game you want to play?
On.
Oh my God. I love you. You're the best friend I ever had. You're pretty good at making friends. How do you make a friend?
By asking them to play with you.
Very good. Asking them to play with you. It's okay to make new friends. If you see somebody, you shouldn't be scared of them. You should just go up to them and say, hey, do you want to play? Right? You don't have to worry about whether or not they're going to say, I don't want to be your friend. Don't worry about that. Just go and meet new people and make friends at school and other places, even in the masjid. Sometimes you see other kids. They're playing, you feel a little left out. You can go over and say, you know what? Everybody else is praying Taraweeh. Let's, thank you for coming. Hey, what's your name? Hasina? Thanks for coming and being brave. Okay, Hasina, why don't you tell me? If your friend was sad, what would you tell them? Here. Hold it.
Don't be sad.
Don't be sad? Okay, I'll pretend to be sad. Talk to me. I'm so sad. What do you tell me? Other than stop being weird. Don't be sad? Just say it. Don't be sad. What would you say to a friend who's sad?
Don't be sad.
Okay, that helped a lot. I'll give you a different question. How about this? Okay, have you guys heard me give talks before? Good, that's honest. I talk about Islam a lot. Is there something I should talk about? Some subject that you want me to talk about? You don't know? Any ideas? Something you'd like me to talk about? Yeah. You want me to talk about the masjid? What about the masjid? Don't be shy. How important is it to come to the masjid?
A lot.
Yeah? Do you come to the masjid a lot? No? You'd like to come more? Okay, very nice. Okay, some harder questions now. If you had 10 million rands, what would you do?
Use it to buy stuff.
What stuff would you buy?
Clothes.
That's a lot of clothes. What else? Nothing else? Just clothes? Food? What food would you buy?
Apples.
Okay, 10 million rands of foods and apples. Here you go.
Give it to the orphans.
You would, huh? That is amazing.
Buy PlayStations and buy TVs. Give sadaqah with it
To who?
to the poor people.
That's awesome. What about you?
I would give it to Islamic relief.
Oh, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. That's so beautiful. Okay. If you could change anything in the world, what would it be? If you could change anything in the world, what would it be? You have an answer? You don't have an answer? You want to change nothing in the world? Yeah.
But then everyone into rich and kind people.
Oh, you're awesome. Okay, all the kids that came up before, I want you to come back. All of the ones that came before, I want you to come back. The boys over here, the girls over here. We're going to finish up with the kids. Sit, sit, sit. It's okay. Good. Ashura's back. Asma's back. All right, very good. Okay, now this is the lightning round. I'm going to ask one question each child. Whoever raises their hand. What was something you did that was helpful? Girls first. Okay. What did you do that was helpful?
I gave bread to the poor people.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, how about this one? What's the best thing about being a kid?
Playing.
Yeah, also being an adult, playing. What is the greatest thing ever invented?
Xbox.
Some parent is going. Tell me one thing you know about the Prophet. Tell me one thing you know about the Prophet. Here.
Nabi Isa could cure people.
That's pretty awesome. How about the Prophet Muhammad? One thing you know about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Two hands.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
Wasallam.
wasallam, he would always help people and he wouldn't fight with anyone because if anyone would harm him, he would just smile at them.
That's amazing. Okay, tell me one thing you know about the Quran. One thing you know about the Quran. Adam, what do you know about the Quran? Tell me. That was deep. You know something about the Quran?
Allah tells you.
He must tell you something. Okay, when you think of it, call me back. I'm on hold. Girls, one thing about the Quran? Here.
The Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Very good. The Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes, young man?
The Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan.
Oh, wow. Impressive. The Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan. One thing you know about Jannah. Anybody know anything about Jannah? I'm coming.
Jannah is the place good Muslims go.
Jannah is the place where Muslims go. Ashura?
Jannah lies beneath the feet of the mothers.
Allah! Wow, the mothers are happy. Yes, Ismail?
That it has lots of nice stuff.
Like what?
Like a river of milk.
Milk? That's pretty good. Yes! Come sit.
There's
these two doors in Jannah, and it's only for the people that fast.
Ooh, one of the doors for people who fast. Okay. Tell me one thing you know about Allah. You know something about Allah? You sure? You sure? Okay.
Allah can kill people.
Well, yes, He can, but He loves people. I wasn't expecting that. I have to process this a little. Okay. Sit. Relax. Musa, one thing you know about Allah.
Allah loves people.
Oh, that's what I wanted to hear. Allah loves people. Somebody else know anything about Allah? Yes, little bird?
Allah loves people.
Allah loves people, huh? Give me 5. You did a good job. MashaAllah. Okay, last ones. Only a few left. What is the nicest thing someone has ever said to you? What's the nicest thing somebody ever said to you?
They like me.
That they're happy? Okay. They were happy with you? What's the nicest thing somebody said to you?
Play with us. No. I love you.
I love you? Who said it?
My sister?
Oh, that's so cute. What's the nicest thing somebody said to you?
My mother said she loves me.
That is so sweet. Okay, last one. What are you good at? What are you good at?
Put it.
Good at what?
Put it.
What is fruit? You're good at fruit? What are you good at? Silence.
Playing.
Playing? What do you like to play? You don't know? What are you good at?
I play hide and seek.
You're good at hide and seek? And what are you good at?
I'm good at math.
You're good at math. Hey, you can't. Okay, no, that's a kid magnet. Okay. Yes, tell me what you're good at.
I'm good at playing FIFA.
Very good. Okay, sit. Relax. Everybody sit down. Put your hands down. Everybody put your hands down. Okay, we're going to start something new now. And this one's going to involve the adults too. So first of all, round of applause for all these wonderful kids. Guys, go take your seats. Take your seats. I'd like to invite 3 grandfathers to the stage. 3 grandfathers. And 3 grandmothers. 3 grandfathers and 3 I'll wait. Man, Grandma, I know you're here. It won't be embarrassing, I promise. 3 grandfathers. Gentlemen, can you guys, if your dad is here, and he's a grandfather, can you just point him out to me? Get him. Go get him. No, you can't get him like this. You have to go get him. You're a grandfather? No. I was about to be very impressed. Yes, Dr. Barley, you're coming. You don't have a choice. Siraj bhai, are you a grandfather? Not yet? Are you a grandfather? Is he? You better get here right now. No. It doesn't matter. You're coming here. This time the women are first? Are you serious? Can you help Dr. Barley get through? I only have one grandfather. This is ridiculous. Okay. This is going to be brief. What was one thing you loved to do as a child?
As a child, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, as a child, I loved to always watch my mom. She was a great role model. She used to be the best cook ever, and she used to love to lecture to us. So I think I got that from her.
So you lecture your kids? Yeah. As a child, what did you love to do?
As a child, I loved to read. I was always so disappointed when I got to the end of the book. And anyway, I carried that on to my adult life.
Alhamdulillah.
I think I loved my siblings and my parents, and I loved to be with family. And that's memories I take with me all the time.
Thank you so much. Doc, what did you love to do as a child? I'm curious. Yes. What did you love to do as a child?
What did I want to do as a child?
Or what did you love doing as a child?
Oh, I like to go and see where my friends are. And we used to play a game, I don't know how many people know, Kiniki.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
In Urdu, they say, Ichi Dandu.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, but I made them laugh. Ishtiaq is standing there. He's also grandfather. Will you come and join me?
Ishtiaq,
Yes.
you've been asked.
Come, yes.
Ishtiaq,
Yes,
you've been asked.
Ishtiaq.
Can somebody,
Ishtiaq.
okay, when I say 3, 2, 1, everybody say, come on, Ishtiaq. 3, 2, 1. We will never see him here again.
Is he coming? He's blushing, but he's coming.
Come on, he's coming. Very good, thank you. Okay, this is, so do you have grandsons, granddaughters? Yes, I do. Both? MashaAllah. Yourself? I have both. You have both? And you also have both? Okay, so this exercise, this simple question for all of you. What is the nicest thing about your child? One nice thing about your child, and one really nice thing about your grandchild. One about each. And you can say their names.
Well, about my child that's right here with me now. She's a girl, name is Hayatun Nisa. She will read Quran with me, and then she will help me when I memorize. She will help me. Oh, she's Hafid of Quran. And my granddaughter, she's only 3, one of them. I've got 5. So one of them, she's so cheeky. She's too cheeky. She says to me, Ma, please don't work on my nerves. Talk too much.
So, one nice thing about your child, and then one about your grandchild.
Okay.
By name.
My name is Abdul Wahab.
No, say something about your son or daughter, one of them, the nicest thing about them.
The nicest thing of my grandchildren, I've got 10.
Just tell me about one of
That
them.
is a round of applause. 10 grandchildren I've got.
Tell me about one of them, the nicest thing about one of them.
Nicest thing is Muhammad Yusuf.
Okay, now the other 9 are crying, but okay.
He's the youngest, and the nicest thing, and the thing that really warmed my heart, is when he led me in prayer. In
Wow,
Salah.
how old is he?
He's 7, going 8.
MashaAllah. And tell me something
No,
about your
that was 2 years ago he did that.
And he's your grandson.
Unfortunately, he's not here this morning.
He would have been up here.
Yes.
So tell me about your son or daughter. Is he through your son or your daughter?
It's still through my daughter.
Okay, tell me about your daughter. The nicest thing about your daughter.
Oh, she's my favorite. I've got three children. She's working now but she is definitely my favorite. My son is sitting in the audience, and you can confirm it with him. There's a waving.
Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. It doesn't matter. Okay.
If I get another child, grandchild, which is unlikely, but the name would have been Husna.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. SubhanAllah. I'm humbled. So, thank you for volunteering so graciously for this exercise.
I just want to put it out there. I'm not a grandfather.
Well,
Your father.
Yes, I am a
okay,
father.
so tell me something about your son or daughter.
Okay, I've got, my eldest is a boy. He just got married now a few months ago. And then I've got 3 girls.
So tell me the nicest thing about your son or daughter, one of them.
My son, he is like a mini-me. So if I reflect back, I see when I was his age, you know, he's got all my bad habits.
That is the nicest thing you could think of. Okay, because we have parents and grandparents in the, up with me right now, I'd like to ask them for some of their wisdom. So what is the most important advice you would give to your children and grandchildren? Oh, wait, try this one.
The most important advice I would give my kids and my grandkids is always set a good example to your children. Never do anything that they're going to see you doing that they're going to follow in later life. Always give them good advice here, and then set the role model. Don't tell them to do, but do it, so they will follow, inshallah.
That's amazing. Your advice.
I kind of also thought about the same thing, is that we model to our children what we want them to be. And Professor started off by saying that family is very important. And if I were to answer the first question about what I thought, which child to talk about, that's difficult, because I love them all the same. I love them unconditionally. And my children reflect that. They love unconditionally. And I think that's very important.
Thank you. Pass it along. Most important advice you would give?
Teach your children to know that family is important. Be kind, caring, and loving to each other and to the community out there. Always show your compassion towards your fellow humans.
Thank you so much. Okay. You know, one of the things that I feel is very important is that, we learn from different places, but a lot of times we don't realize how much wisdom and how much, value, overvalued knowledge, and really knowledge that a price cannot be put on it, lies with our elders. They've lived life, they've had experiences, they've seen things. Sometimes the next generation thinks that the world has changed, so they don't understand. Yes, the world changes, technology changes, language changes, but human nature doesn't change. Human nature has always been the same. And so even though some things on the outside change, from one generation to another generation, music changes, entertainment changes, cars change, the world looks different, but greed is still greed, and jealousy is still jealousy, and sadness is still sadness. And those are the things that human beings have experienced throughout the ages. And so those that are among us that have lived a longer life than we have experienced all of those things and have seen the good in it and seen the bad in it, and we need to learn from them. And we need to learn from their life experiences so we don't make those same mistakes. It's a big mistake to think that those that are older than us are outdated or they don't have anything to offer us. As a matter of fact, they have the most valuable advice and wisdom to offer us. So that's something we should never undermine. A lot of times our elders, they retire or they're home more, and we feel like, and we might even make them feel like they're not as useful anymore. But as a matter of fact, those can be some of the most useful years of their life. And we should acknowledge that in them instead of dismissing them. So our elders are, often we talk about, how youth are so important. But we don't talk enough about how the seniors are so important, how our elders are so important, and they are. And our grandparents are a great gift. Those of us that are fortunate enough to have their grandparents alive should spend as much time with them as possible. Learn what they used to be like when they were kids. Compare that to yourself. How were you when you were a child, as opposed to how they were when they were a child? What did they learn? What was some of the worst mistakes of their life? I'm not going to ask them here what their mistakes in life were. But that's personal. But I will ask some other things. What is the proudest moment of your life?
The proudest moment in my life, I've got quite a few, but the proudest moment is when my first grandchild was born.
Wow.
The name of Miriam. She's not here. She's a medical student in the 4th year. That's the proudest moment. The second one is when I was called in as a doctor to go for the release of Mandela in prison.
That's amazing.
And that was a proud moment for me, and it will stay in my mind, in my memory forever.
That's incredible. Proudest moment of your life?
Proudest moment of my life was when I stood in front of the Baytullah. Alhamdulillah. And another one was when I became a mother.
MashaAllah.
Holding my first son, Samir, in my arms, proudest moment. And then with the very Samir, the two of us graduated, him with his honors and me with my masters at the same ceremony.
Proudest moment, it was my son, when I could go with my elder son for his graduation.
That's amazing, mashallah. Okay, this is going to be hard. Your proudest moment of your life? Not grandpa.
Now, I think at this point in time, we are fortunate to have my parents both alive. We're 3 generations in the house. And bringing them to mosque every night, I think that's one of the proudest moments.
MashaAllah, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. Okay, we have to be honest about this one. Tell me about one of your funniest memories. One of your funniest memories. You can't laugh without telling.
I can tell you, it happened right in this mosque, and I was standing up like that, and I could feel my trousers falling down. What did I do? I just sat down.
Proudest, funniest memory.
Well, I have a few funniest memories, but my one that I can recall is I was walking in front, and then as I walked, I fell, and then as I stood up, this man said, "But didn't you fall now?" I said, no, I made as though I fell. So that's all. I was so embarrassed because it was like a friend, and then he kept on saying the same thing. But I had a few, but that's all I can remember right now.
I don't think mine is as funny as that, except that I thought it was being very smart when I was asking my granddaughter to say a kalima. And she was repeating after me, and then she turns and she says, "Grandma, you just said there is no Allah." So when you say, there is no Allah, there is no God but Allah. And she just picked up on, there is no God.
Mine is also, I fell as I exited the airport flat in front of a crowd of people. It was funny, but afterwards.
Yeah, I think the funniest moment with me was when, in my school days, I was a little brat and I was put at boarding school. And I used to get called into the housemaster's office every week. So that was, at the end of it, it was quite funny, because I got a certificate for the first new boy to get the most hiding.
Okay, round of applause for our seniors. Okay, you guys can have a seat. Okay, round of applause for our seniors. Okay, you guys can have a seat. So a few observations about the conversations we had that I wanted to share with everyone to start with. In Surah Yusuf, Allah describes that Yusuf alayhi salam came to his father and told him a dream. Everybody here knows that? That Yusuf alayhi salam came to his father and told him a dream. The important thing there is that the child went out of his way to express what he was feeling and what he experienced, and he in very detailed form was able to talk to the father about it. You notice for a lot of the kids that were here, when I was asking them questions, they didn't have answers. Do you remember? And a lot of them, even when they gave an answer, it was one word or two words. You know what that means? That means there's not enough conversation at home. That we don't actually engage our children as much, and they don't articulate themselves very much. You know, you can spend your entire childhood with one-word answers. Can I pick you up? You're so cute. What? You want to sit over here? You want to sit with your mom? Okay, give me 5. I'll pick it up for you. Give me 5 first. Now give me a hug. Okay. Now go. Yeah. What was I saying? I forgot. So yeah, it's really, these are the age, until your children turn about 9 years old or 10 years old, this is the time in this span that you have to encourage them to speak more. You know, and a lot of times our children speak to us and we give them one-word answers. Baba, look at this, look at this, look at this. And we're like, yeah. Okay, that's great. But no real conversation, fluff. You can actually spend your entire childhood just asking the same questions. Did you eat? Did you finish your homework? Go to sleep? Did you change? Did you brush your teeth? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Who are you talking to? My friend. These are one-word answers. Those are not real conversations. That's just day-to-day function, you see? But we have to engage our children in real conversation. Ask them, not just, because if you ask your children, how was your day at school? What are they going to say? Good. Back to one-word answer, isn't it? If that's a one-word answer, instead learn to ask questions that maybe they'll give you more. So say things like, what happened at school today? What was the best part of school? Recess? What happened at recess? Oh, my friend? Which friend? And those one-word answers will start soon turning into a conversation. But we have to facilitate. Kids won't necessarily open up conversation on their own. We have to teach them to do that to the point where they want to come and tell you. You don't even have to go ask them. That's kind of what we're learning in Surah Yusuf. When Yusuf himself came, the dad didn't say, did you have good sleep? Did you see a dream? Was everything okay? No, the child himself came and said, I saw a dream. That's the kind of communication we want to facilitate with our kids. And so when we talk to kids and they're not giving us much of an answer, that's not their fault. That means we're not teaching them how to have conversation enough. We're not facilitating that for them enough. We're not making it safe enough, comforting enough. We're not making it welcoming enough for them to open up more and more and more. You know, if you talk to children a lot and you converse with them, don't talk to them like they're babies. Don't talk to them like they're babies. Talk to them like they're intelligent. Even when they're 3, 4 years old, 2, 3 years old, speak with them like they're intelligent. And even if they don't know how to respond, you know, some kids are more primitive than others, right? That's just how Allah made children. So some children, even when they're 3 years old, they're like that's. And some kids are 2 years old and they're making complete sentences. I have every end of the evolution spectrum within my children. So some of my kids, when one of my kids was 2 years old, and I took him to get new glasses for myself, and he's sitting there and he goes, Abba, what's that? I said, that's a pen. What kind of pen is that? This is a 2-year-old kid. What kind of pen is that? It's one of those pens that changes colors. You can press whichever color. I said, it's a 4-color pen. A 4-color pen? He asked me, and the lady's like looking at him like, how old is he? Because he's a little guy, and he's asking all these questions. I said, it's 4 colors. He goes, can I try it? I said, okay. And this he didn't say pen, color, like not one word, full sentences. And he says, can I try it? And I said, okay, why don't you try the green one? And he points at the green thing, and he's trying to press it, and I show him how to press it. And he starts coloring with the green one. He goes, now I want to try the blue one. And I said, okay, where's the blue? And he finds the blue himself, and he's trying to press it. But that's a 2-year-old. My other 2-year-old wasn't doing that even when he was 6 years old. So they're not all the same. That's okay. But we have to, they have to get used to listening to us talk to them normally. Sometimes our kids are even 4 or 5 years old, and we speak to them like this. That's how they think normal speech works now. So even when they talk to you like, that's not because they talk like that, because they think that's how you talk. So they're talking to you in your language. So speak with kids intelligently, and you'll be surprised how quickly they learn to communicate intelligently. That's actually something Allah has endowed children with. Okay, so that's one really important thing. The other important thing is, why am I asking people what they love about their family or what they love about their sons or grandsons and daughters and granddaughters, etc.? What's the purpose of doing that? Allah says, مَنْ يَشْفَعْ شَفَاعَةً حَسَنًا in Surah An-Nisa. He says, whoever recommends or acknowledges the good in somebody else, to acknowledge the good in somebody else and recommend the good in somebody else, openly declare the good in somebody else. Allah says they get a reward of that. They get a reward of that. And if the person continues to do good deeds, it continues to add for them. They get a kifl from it. Now what does that mean? A lot of times in our family, of course, everybody, some of you have, alhamdulillah, your parents are alive, your children are alive, your spouses are alive, and we do a lot of things for each other, but we don't acknowledge them. We don't say it. You don't say to your 18-year-old son, here's what makes me really proud of you. You just kind of assume they know. So what we talk to them about is, did you go to school? Are you late? Is this done? Is that, again, the same kind of conversations we were having when they were 5 or 6? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Same conversations when they're 18, 19 years old. So they're never validated. They never build confidence. They never feel like my father is proud of me. My mother is proud of me. Or they love me. Like, these words are not just words. They have to be reinforced. They have to be said. They have to be felt. And so that's an important thing. And of course, I brought you on stage to do that because it feels different, doesn't it? When your father or your mother or your grandmother says something kind about you in front of everybody, that feels like, wow, they're actually really proud of me. They didn't just say it in private and say, don't tell anybody I said that. But they said it in front of everybody. They actually believe that to be the case. So that's a very powerful thing that, I want you to, these are simple things, but they can change people's lives completely. And if we don't turn our kids into good communicators now, later on in life, when they become married, they won't be good communicators. Which means they won't be able to be effective husbands or wives. That means they won't be effective parents. So we're creating a problem down the road. You understand? So I pray that Allah helps us become more open communicators and facilitate that especially for our kids. Okay, now I'd like to invite 3 fathers and 3 mothers. Not grandfathers and grandmothers, fathers of children. 3 fathers of children and 3 mothers of children. Let's go. Got 1. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alaikum salam. I'm good. You should shake his hand too. He was sticking it out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, very good. Alhamdulillah. When I give you the mic, you will also tell us your name, salam and your name, and then you'll answer the question. Okay. What is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shadli. The most important thing on the spot, I would say family values.
Family values?
Friendship values.
Can you be more specific?
Okay, as you grow older, I found that your material things become less important.
Hold it a little closer.
Like so, with aging, I realized that material things become less important. It doesn't give you the same satisfaction that it gave you when you were younger. And the good friendship and the good relationships you have with your friends and your kids and your wife and your parents, that's what becomes important. Yeah.
Very cool. Your name?
Bilal, the most important thing I learned in life is to say what you mean and mean what you say.
That's awesome. Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Yusuf Mohammed. I think the most important thing for me growing up would be let love be the foundation of your existence. And I think that was basically reinforced by my father.
That's amazing. It sounds like an amazing dad. The most important thing you've learned in your life. Your name first.
My name is Nadia. Assalamu alaikum. The most important thing I would think for myself that I've learned in life is to learn to have respect for your elders and just to have humility for people. And yeah, and just good family values. That is what I think.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Laika. I think the best thing or the most important thing that I've learned in my life is that the way you treat other people reflects on what is inside yourself. So when you treat people with respect and with kindness, they return it. Even if it's not immediately, if you continue to just be kind, it returns.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Farah. I'm still learning as I go along, but I think overridingly, the most important thing I've learned in my life is to not let your past or your circumstances define you.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Let me get a little deeper. You're going to answer 2 questions now each. What dua would you make for everyone here? And what dua would you like them to make for you? Okay? You want to start on that side so you can think? We'll start on this side now. Here you go.
Wow, that's big. So the dua that I can make for everybody here is that we all find ourselves, and in finding ourselves, we'll find Allah, and we'll have balance, and we'll love ourselves, and then we'll be able to perpetuate that in our lives and the lives of our kids. And then, what was next?
What would you want them to pray for you?
Oh, wow. For me, is that I'm able to raise children who are impactful in society, who have good character and values, and make a difference in the world.
Make that dua, Ameen. So when they ask for that dua, we say Ameen to all of them. Okay? And when they make dua for us, we say Ameen too. Okay? Yeah.
Sure. I think my dua for everybody here would be that one day, inshallah, we will meet in Jannah, and that when we are there, that we will look back at our lives and feel a sense of accomplishment, and that we won't feel ashamed on the day of judgment. That when we stand in front of Allah, that Allah will accept us with open arms. And I think that is just what I would ask of you to make dua for me and my boys.
Ameen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Thank you so much for that.
The dua that I would make for everybody is that I would ask Allah to forgive us for all our shortcomings and to grant us Jannah without reckoning and to protect us from the punishment of the grave and the punishment of hellfire. And I would love that in turn for myself as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I make a lot of dua for a lot of smaller things, but I think ultimately what I would want to achieve is to understand our purpose. Okay, so understand why we're here and where we're going. I think we all believe and we have faith, but to get that actualization of what it actually means.
The dua I would like to make for everybody that is here is that whatever you wish for and which is good for you, Allah must grant it to you and may we meet in Jannah.
Ameen. Ameen. Ameen.
And the dua I would like you to make for me is that I raise my children to be good citizens, to be good Muslims, and to be good examples to this world.
Ameen.
I thought hard of this dua. I mean, there's so many duas that you can think of. But if there's one thing I'd like to make for all of you is that peace and contentment. I mean, many people have, there's wealth, there's so many things out there, but if you don't have peace and contentment, then why live? You want to be at peace and content with each other. And may Almighty Allah grant all of you that peace and contentment, inshallah. Okay, so that you can sleep well as well. The dua that I would like you guys to make for me, if it's one, if pride, even if it's a weight of a mustard seed, if I do have pride, I'd like Almighty Allah to remove that for me.
Ameen, ameen. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much. Okay. What about your child reminds you of yourself when you were a child? And you should name the child so they know what's going on. Here you go. Hold it closer.
Okay, so I've got two. The older one, she's here, Zahra. What I see in her that reminds me about myself, she's quite cheeky. So quick answer for everything. Sometimes I beat at my own game. So that reminds me. The little one, she'd see something on TV and try and act it. So I don't know if it's just being recorded. Okay,
Too late.
I enjoyed Kung Fu movies, so as a child, only as a child, I don't do it anymore. I would want to go out there and pretend I can do the same Kung Fu moves. So I'll go to the back and train. And the little one, she does that.
So I've got 3 boys. My eldest boy, Raik, what he reminds me of myself when I was young is that I talk too much. The middle one, I would think what he reminds me of myself most would be that I never used to listen. And my youngest one, I think, is just his inquisitive way. I've just always been inquisitive. So yeah, one of them each have a quality of myself when I was young.
Naeem, my eldest boy, he also talks a lot. So he reminds me of myself because he has conversations about anything and everything. And then Isa sometimes mischievous, but he still remains kind and he tries to fix things. Like he's the peacekeeper, so he will try to keep the peace. Yeah.
I have 4 kids, 3 boys and 1 girl. I think I find the relationship with my daughter the most challenging, and probably because we have similar qualities. She is extremely guarded and stubborn, and my son is, we definitely have the bubbly bit in common. My eldest son, Imad. None of my kids are here today, unfortunately, because they're not feeling well. And he feels things really deeply. He internalizes things really deeply. Even at the age of 9, he has deep conversations with me, and I think we definitely have that in common.
Awesome. You go.
My daughter was here earlier, Asma. I've got 4 daughters.
Hey, Asma.
And they remind of me in each one of them in different ways. So it's very difficult to say, no, you remind me of this or that. But my wife says that my 3rd daughter, Ilham, who's there, she is exactly like me. So I don't know what she sees in me and she sees in her.
Does Ilham get in trouble a lot?
Yes.
I saw it before you saw it, bro.
Yes. Now, Salam good? There she is.
I don't have my kids with me today. Actually, I wasn't planning coming here today. It's by chance I passed by. So here I am. My eldest son, Sharif, I would say he's very curious. And he reminds me a lot about myself. I'm curious by nature. My daughter, Shaista, she's very fun and loving. She's the entertainer in the house. And I think as a child, I used to entertain. I hope I still do that. Radia, my baby, she's 2 years old. She's probably the boss baby and the most affectionate out of all of them.
Wow.
So before, she goes to bed, she needs to play with your ears before she falls asleep. It reminds me a lot about me.
That's awesome. A round of applause for our parents. Thank you. Please take your seats in the audience again. And I'd like 3 more moms and 3 more dads, please. Different questions. That's 1, that's 2, one more mom. Someone get up. There you go, that's 3. Okay, I've got 3. 3 dads. Your son pushed you into this? 2 more dads. That's 2. 1 more. Come on, guys. This is not a fundraiser. You can get up. It's not going to cost you anything. Okay, I got 3. Come on. Okay. We'll start by making things a little light. I'd like you to tell me the funniest story you have of your child.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Well, my kid is he's only 20 months. So whatever he does right now, even if he just goes, "Wah," it's very funny for me. Because he's my only son anyway. But he's quite a prankster like me. I used to like to hide, well, I still do. If we come to the masjid together, then I hide my husband's shoes. So he also likes doing things like that, but he's a prankster. He takes things and he'll hide it, and I'll ask him, "Where's your topi?" And he's like, so things like that.
Okay, I've got 2, but particularly my daughter Aziza. So she would make salah with myself and then with my husband. She's like, "Mommy, you don't make
Wait.
salah."
You're going to start over and you're going to hold it closer.
Oh, okay.
And Adam and you, what's his name? Adam and Isa are going to stop trying to kill each other. Okay.
Okay, so my daughter Aziza, she would make salah with me and then obviously with her dad as well. And then she'd tell "Mommy, you don't make salah correct. So you must make it over again." So I'm like, "What do I do?" "You don't recite loud like daddy." So she would do that to wherever we go. She'd be like, "You don't salah right." So that is like very funny for me.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fatima, and I have 4 kids. So I'm going to talk about the one that's here with me today, which is Zahra. And when she was little, she had this thing where she used to love to eat sugar, especially icing sugar like sherbet. And so we had this problem of trying to get her to stop eating the sugar. So she used to sneak into the grocery cupboard and dip her finger into the icing sugar container and constantly eat it. So just the one day, I swapped the containers and I put the corn flour in front. And so she got in there and she was hiding and eating it. And then I see her walk out with her mouth hanging open and this stuck together with this corn flour all over her mouth. And she never did it again. So that's the story.
Wow, you are cruel. Okay, so that's terrible. I mean, messing with kids is, important. One of my kids, when she came out, she looked like a Korean dictator. So her hair was all, I just always wanted her to speak Korean, or at least speak a little Korean. But I don't know any Korean. So as she was growing up, I used to have this obsession with chocolate milk. So I wanted her to just at least say chocolate milk like she's a Korean dictator. So every time I'd give her some chocolate milk, I'd say, "Hey, you want some chocolate milk? Chocolate milk, say chocolate milk." And this little girl, she's 2 years old, she goes, "Abba, I would like some chocolate milk." And she did that until she was 7 years old. Her friends didn't understand. She speaks normally and everything else. Until chocolate milk comes up, she goes, "Chocolate milk."
My one is a bit of not a very clean one.
I love it already.
So, my son was born, our son, because my wife is in the audience. So our son was born, and my wife was at her mom's place after birth, giving birth. So my son developed a nappy rash.
Okay.
And I went to go and visit him, and so he never wore any diapers, and he just let go. So that was a dirty one for me.
Okay. So you did the cleaning? Yeah. Oh, impressive.
Cleaning myself.
My name's Yasser. I've got 3 boys, and it's a joke every day. But I can't really remember specifically, but there's one that stands out, or the middle one. His name isn't Adam. So they play this game Fortnite, and
Yeah.
and he was doing the floss on holiday naked on the beach. So that was kind of funny because there was like a whole lot of girls and tourists and stuff everywhere on the beach, but it doesn't sound funny now.
Okay. I guess
Sounds
you had
embarrassing.
Funniest memory. Sorry.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Muhammad Noor. I'm a proud father of 5 kids, 2 girls and 3 boys. And my funniest kid, his name is Bashir. He's 30 years. And in 2013, Allah granted us to go on Umrah with my mother and my wife's mother. And we traveled with Saudi Airlines. So Saudi Airlines usually leaves early in the morning from Cape Town. Then you have to go to Joburg, wait in Joburg, and then get the flight from Joburg to Jeddah. So obviously it was a long, tiring flight. We flew all day, and we arrived in Jeddah, alhamdulillah, the evening. Waited for the transport. We all in Ihram. We came into Makkah, and it was late. I think it was almost 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I told the wife, no, let's just put our bags down and we're going to do our Umrah, inshallah. And the kids were sleeping and we woke them all up. We said, come, we're here by the hotel now. And the hotel had these glass doors that open and closes. And Bashir got up in Ihram. I'm carrying all the bags. The mother-in-law is there. Everybody's tired. And Bashir walks. And I say, Bashir, there's the door. Go into the hotel. And the hotel got these see-through window doors. And he walks straight into the door with his ihram, and all his ihram falls off. So don't laugh, he's at the year. That was one of the funniest with my kids.
That's the kind of thing you want to record. Play at their wedding. Okay. This is an important one, I feel. Validation is important in life. I'll tell you something personal about myself so everybody understands what I'm asking for. When I was about 18, 19 years old, I learned a little bit of Arabic, and my Arabic teacher said, I want you to teach. And he put me in front of about 6 people, and I was teaching in the basement of a masjid. And I only knew the basics, and I was just teaching the basics, what I knew. But I didn't know that the people I was teaching had been teachers themselves for 20 years. But they were pretending that they don't know anything. And this was all just a complete experiment, prank, where I'm feeling like I'm teaching them, and they're going, mashallah, mashallah, and they're asking questions. And at the end of all of that, one of them came to me and told me that you are naturally a teacher, and you should dedicate your life to teaching. Okay? And I was 19 years old at the time. And I can tell you even now, the most confidence I felt that this is something I'm going to do no matter what anybody else thinks came from just those words. Right? So when somebody validates you or somebody says something that profoundly impacts your life, they may not think that that's the case. They may just be saying something and they don't realize how powerful those words are and how they transform you. But those can be very important memories in a person's life. Right? So I'd like for you folks here to remember something that somebody said to you that was the most powerful and meaningful to you, and what that was and how it impacted you. Here you go.
Okay.
Put the mic closer.
Okay, dokes. So that's also very a similar one to share. That I was in a university setup and I was teaching this course. It was an accounting class, and we were there, and I didn't know that the prof had come in and sat in my class as well. And at the end of that class, she also came up to me and she said that you also were meant for teaching. You go ahead and you conquer the world. Go out there and give what you have. And that also sticks with me, and today, that's why I went into the education route and teaching and things. And so that also really stood out for me. And so you dedicate your life, because that was also so powerful. The fact that you also I was, I think, 20 years old, 19, 20, same age, that you at that age, you don't really feel that you have that to give to so many people. And yet maybe Allah has chosen you and put inside you something that you can convey. And if you have that, then why not? So that's my story.
Thank you.
Okay, for me, I was never shy. Like as a child, like I was never ever shy. And there was one thing where I had to do oral, and I can never prepare something. Like if I prepare, then I want to remember it verbatimly, and I can't. And my mommy always told me, I want you to see me in the room and nobody else. Like look at me and I'm smiling at you. And every time I would just do that, and that would like sitting in my heart is like going this do inside my body. But I always just see her and I tell myself, she always told me that you have something inside of you that you need to give to that person, and that person has something that they need to give to you. So if you're gonna sit there and be like a little mouse, you're not gonna get it. So that's something that always stayed with me. And if I get in contact with people, I like to tell people that I'm a heart whisperer. So when I come in contact with you, I connect with your heart. I don't see your skin at all. So that is something that always stays with me, listening to my mom's words. And looking at somebody and looking right through, past everything and just look into their hearts. Because that's ultimately that you must look at when you see somebody. So my mom's words, I always remember, and that gives me like the motivation to go out there and do what I need to do.
For me, my inspiration was my mother. Something she always said to me growing up was about being a good mom and how that would impact upon my kids. And that became the central focus of my life, even though I educated myself and became successful as a person, but my success was doing the best I could for my kids. And I've got 4 kids. Alhamdulillah, all of them, I've worked with them and dedicated a lot of my time to making them educate themselves. And the 3 of my kids have done exceptionally well in matric, and they've been straight A students. They're in university doing exceptional things as well. And I'm so proud of them. And I now have a little one that I'm now trying to work with, but he's the most difficult of all. But that was something that she instilled in me that I carried forward, and I've seen the fruits of it. So I think if, as parents, if we just put that little effort, our kids do amazing things. And for me, that's the biggest accomplishment in my life.
Thank you so much. All right, these are going to be quick questions. You have to give me 1-sentence answers. What do your kids do that make you the most feel cared for? What do they do that make you feel that they love you, or they care for you?
When I come home from a hard day's work and they all run to the door and say, Daddy, we love you. And shukran for working so hard for us.
It's amazing. What do you want your kids to remember about you?
That their father loves them very much.
What's the best part of being a father?
Everything.
What advice do you have for future moms?
Wow, that's sure. That if you need to invest in yourself, because if you invest in yourself and you learn about Allah and you learn about yourself and your, then you can give. Because if you fill yourself with knowledge and never ever stop learning, learn about everything, grasp everything, and then you give to your children and spend that time with them. Maybe try to, like Sheikh was asking questions, be that person that tells them about fun facts about the world and teach them about Allah and about Jannah, make it real. So that's what I can give to you. Never stop learning and educating yourselves.
I got it. What's one advice your parents gave you that always stuck with you that you want your kids to know?
I think one thing my mom said it in Afrikaans, but I'm going to say it in English, that the truth never killed anybody. So always remain honest, even though it's difficult.
That's amazing. What is one thing you love doing as a child that you would love for your children to enjoy also?
I loved playing outdoors and playing catch, and I think today kids don't do that anymore. We played with cousins and family, and we just played any game, sticks, bottles, catch, climbing trees, and I think kids need to do that.
That's amazing. Thank you. Round of applause for our parents. All right, have a seat. Okay. Now it's the rest of you. Let's see what we can do. There are grandparents here, the children of grandparents. I want to see just a show of hands, and we're going to go through the audience. I want to hear some things. I want you to tell your father or your mother what you admire most about them. I want you to look at them and tell them. Who's going to volunteer? Any side. I want you to turn to your parent. The adults, I'm asking the adults right now. The adults that have their parents here with them. You turn to your parent and you tell them what you admire most about them. Yes. There you go. Oh wait, you gotta hold the mic. Yes, personally, so we can all hear.
Mommy, what I admire most about you is how you raised 3 children as a single parent. You worked 2-3 jobs to support us, and you never abandoned us.
Round of applause. Any sons would like to say something to their fathers? Guys, you want to say something to your dad? Okay, you know what? The children will be our lead. Come on. Here, take this. Talk to your dad. Tell him what you love about him.
Daddy is getting very gray now.
Yes. Excuse me. Sorry. Son, I don't know about him, but you're turning gray when you get home. I don't know. Here you go.
Mommy, I never ever got the opportunity to thank you for everything that you've done for me and my sisters. And I must say, you've done an amazing job raising 3 good daughters.
Thank you so much. Can I get some men to be men now? Let's go. Who's got it? Yes, come. This is actually very telling. I'll tell you guys about it. Go ahead.
I admire my daddy because he's always honest whatever he does.
Notice how our brothers were not as eager to raise their hand. Do you know why that is? Not because they're bad people, but because we're not raised openly communicating with our own family. And actually, we're raised with almost a sickness in our culture that we must cleanse ourselves from. You know what that sickness is? That if you praise a family member, it might go to their head and they'll become arrogant. So don't say anything nice to them. When it comes to criticizing them, all the way. When it comes to complimenting them, no, what are you doing? They're going to go crazy, the head is going to get inflated. So we were raised that way ourselves, many of us. We were constantly criticized, so we feel the only normal thing to do is actually that. And so opening up and actually saying something kind, and especially doing so in front of others, is very difficult for us. But you know, this exercise is very healthy, because a lot of times fathers don't know that their sons actually respect them. And sons don't know that their fathers actually love them. You know, and that open communication, if you're confident enough, if that feeling is true enough inside you, that you can say it to the world can hear, and that's completely fine. That's a very liberating thing. And if there's a reluctance in you, that means there are walls and barriers in communication between family members right now that need to be broken. That, you know, I started by saying the people that are tied by blood, they have priority in Allah's book. How easy is it for you to go talk to a friend and open up completely? And how difficult is it for you to maybe go talk to your father or mother? Or go talk to a sibling? You understand? This is an important part of growing up. And an important part of being family is to be able to communicate openly. What we're doing here, instead of me giving a lecture about the Quran and about the values of family, what we're doing here is trying to live in ayah. That's actually what we're trying to do. To experience what Allah says when these bonds should remain connected. Being connected to a family doesn't mean that you live under the same roof. It doesn't mean you eat at the same table. Those even animals can do. Even animals can share housing, and they can share meals. Human beings share conversation, they share connection, they share emotions, they share experiences, they share in each other's joy, they share in each other's loss. How many times is it that, children or the parents are, enjoying themselves or laughing, and then one of the sons comes in and everybody just, because he's here. When it's a change, because they can't be open with them, or the other way around. So that's the thing that we have to break in our own homes. What I can try and do for you and for myself is to encourage that kind of communication. The kinds of questions I'm asking, maybe it's a fun thing to ask at dinner tonight. Maybe it's nice to ask your grandma or your grandfather, what did you do when you were a kid? Like, when did you get in trouble? What got you into trouble? And you might find, remarkably, if you're in the middle, you're the parent, you have parents above you, children below you, you might find that the grandparents and the grandchildren have something in common. And you're in between, And that's a beautiful thing, to see generations connected with each other in that way. So now, I'm going to... and also, by the way, we are embarrassed. We're embarrassed to speak up. And that's something that if this was instilled in us from childhood, that it's okay to speak up, it's okay to express yourself, you wouldn't feel that now. So you want that to your children to have that, so one day when they can express themselves, they don't feel shy. They can express themselves with confidence. Okay. But mashallah, I'm very proud of how things are going so far. What I'd like to do now is change the subject a little bit and talk to the husbands and the wives. Ugh. Okay. Just raise your hand. I would like you to stand up when I call on you. And I'd like you to turn to your wife. If you can't find her, you can just say her name and just say one thing that you really respect and admire and appreciate about your wife. Say her name and say something about your wife that you respect, admire, and appreciate. Show of hands, gentlemen. Yes, thank you. Here you go. Here, Bobby, take this to her.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
This is for my wife, Perween. Just always for brutal honesty and for undying love and always fighting for her family and for the truth.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Perween. A wife to say something about her husband. I know that I've never seen this kind of silence in the women's section ever. Something nice. Yes, go ahead.
I would like to say a message to my husband, Yasser. Yasser, I don't always tell you that I appreciate everything that you do for us. And you are truly an amazing dad. You always try the best for our kids. And I really appreciate that. And I love you very much.
I'll say something more. The next husband and wife that I pick. Husbands can be dads. Wives can be moms. But I want you to appreciate them not as a dad or a mom. That's there. I want you to appreciate them as what? Husband and wife. I want you to acknowledge something about them being a husband and about them being a wife. That's what I want to hear. Okay. Next. Come on. I know it's hard. Something good. Oh, my wife?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
So my wife, Meher, the amount of respect and love she has for me and the tolerance.
Thank you so much. Yes.
This is my husband, Arashad. Just to say that words cannot express the amount of love and kindness you show to me. And I'm truly grateful for that.
That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. One more each. One more. I need one more husband and one more wife.
Kashwa, I just want to say thank you for the support that you give me.
No, wait. Hold it closer and say it like you mean it.
I do mean it. Okay, I can be a difficult customer to live with sometimes. I have a lot of baggage sometimes, and I appreciate that you tolerate that and you support me even in the tough times. And the not so tough times. Thank you.
Very good. One more wife, brave soul, go ahead. Here.
Okay, my husband is Yasir. He's sitting over there. I have the most amazing husband in the world. Yasir, I really admire you. You are humble, you are kind, and you are funny as hell. And he tells the best Barusta jokes.
Yasin! Okay. Last exercise. I want all the kids in the front. As many kids that want to come in the front. Boys on this side, girls on this side. You don't have to sit on the chairs. Face me. Sit over here. Sit over here. Okay. Before I pick on the kids, I want to tell you something about the husband and wife thing. There are 3 things Allah mentions in the ayah about spouses. The purpose for which Allah created spouses. He says, أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. First of all, He says He created for you spouses from within yourselves. What does that mean? That our spouse is actually a part of ourselves. The spouse is actually a part of yourself. Part of them, yes, they are another person, but in some sense they are actually an extension of your own self. What's good for them is actually what's good for you. What's good for you is actually what's good for them. What hurts you hurts them. What hurts them hurts you. You become, in that sense, a shared human being. That's min anfusikum. Then Allah says, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. The first thing Allah says about the spousal relationship, the purpose of it, is that you find calm and peace, and you find that disturbance is removed when you head towards them. I didn't say you find peace in them, but even the thought of them calms you down. Even the thought of them, as you head towards them, as your mind goes towards them, you find tranquility, you find peace, you find your problems may be endless in life, but because of your spouse, they become manageable. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Then He says, وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً. He says He placed between you intense love. The love you have for your spouse didn't come from you. That came from Allah. Allah is the owner of all love. And He puts that between a husband and a wife. Notice, did He say love first or did He say peace first? He said peace first, tranquility first, didn't He? You know what that means? If you want to keep the love alive, what do you have to keep alive? The peace, the tranquility. If something is disturbing that, you get rid of that first. You can't be arguing with each other and just say, by the way, I still love you. That love will start becoming weaker and weaker and weaker until it goes away and it just becomes words. The only way that love will stay sustained is if it's preceded, it's that building, the foundation of it is peace. To be at calm, to be tranquil, to feel safe. All of those things have to be there, then that love can stay alive. So that's its basis. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً. Then He says, وَرَحْمَةً. The last thing. He says not just love, but care based on that love. Care. What does care mean? You say things that you know will not hurt your spouse. You do things that you know will not hurt your spouse. You go out of their way, your way, a husband goes out of his way to make sure there's comfort for the spouse. The wife goes out of her way to make sure there's no discomfort for the husband. You see, when you get to know each other this well, then you get to know exactly what is going to bother them the most. And sometimes, because you know that, you use it. Because you know in an argument what's going to hurt the most, so you do exactly that. Or you've learned before that you made this or this mistake and that was the most painful for them, and you don't care to change it. They'll just have to deal with it, that's just who I am. That's a lack of rahmah. The love is still there, but rahmah isn't there. You understand? So there's 3 things Allah put inside of the spousal relationship. There's this tranquility, and then there's this intense love, and finally there's this care. So, and why is that care at the end important? Because even if peace is there, and love is there, but care is no longer there. Courtesy is no longer there. The kind of, making time for somebody is no longer there. Okay, so fine, you're not fighting with each other. You still love each other, but you don't actually care to talk to each other. You don't care to spend time with each other. You don't care to understand how the other's feeling. Then that also will bring, the marriage can become artificial. 2 people are together, but the reality of it is they're not together. The bodies may be close to each other, but the souls have drifted apart. And none of us want that in a marriage. So this is وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Now we come to the kids. How many of you have brothers and sisters? Raise your hand. You're Muslim, you all do. Okay. So, anyway, I want you to think of your brother or your sister that you fight with the most. Good. Now say their name out loud. Okay, now, okay, thank you. No over and over again. Some of you are like, Rais. Okay, wait, shh. Wow, you fight with everybody. Okay, no more. Now listen. I'm going to pick one child. Don't raise your hand. I'll pick myself, okay? I want you to say something nice about the brother or sister that you fight with the most. You have to say something nice about the one that you fight with the most. You ready? You've tricked me before. Ismail, what's their name? Are they older than you? Tell me.
Adil.
And is he older than you?
Yes.
And what do you fight about?
Chocolate.
It's worth the fight. And tell me something nice about him. I know.
He always helps me
With?
when I'm in trouble.
All right. That's awesome. Girls, what's your name again? What's your name? Kayla. What's your brother or sister's name?
Amreen.
Amreen, you fight with Amreen?
Yes.
About what?
Lots of things.
Like, does she take your stuff? Does she take your things? Or do you take her things?
Both.
Oh, okay. So, tell me something nice about her.
She's very loving.
She's very loving, huh? MashaAllah. Boys? You've tricked me so many times, I'll give it to you anyway because you're cute.
I like to fight with Raik, my brother.
You like to fight with him, huh?
He's
Is that him? Oh, he's still fighting right now. Okay. Yes. What's your name? Rais. So, who do you fight with?
my brother.
What's his name?
Rahim.
Rahim? That's a strange name for a fighter. Oh, wait. Oh. And is Rahim older than you? Is he older than you or younger than you? Hold it closer. Hold it closer to your mouth. Okay. Tell me something nice about him.
Me and my brother fight together.
You mean fight other people together? Oh, well, that's nice. Wait. Okay, if you're raising your hand, I won't pick on you. And if you're... Whoa. I didn't want a demonstration. Okay. Now, who do you fight with?
With my sister,
What's her name?
Imra.
Imra, how old is she?
She's 11 years old.
Oh my God, Imra, you're in trouble. Okay, tell me something nice about Imra.
I like to sleep with her in a bed.
Oh, that's so cute. All right, boys. Who do you fight? Yes.
I fight with my sister. Her name is Kauthar.
Your sister, her name is Kauthar. You fight with her? And tell me something nice about Kauthar.
She likes taking my burger.
Huh?
She likes taking my burgers all the time when I don't eat it.
Oh, she finishes your food when you don't eat it. That's so nice of her. Okay. Here you go.
I fight with my sister, Ilham the most, and
What do you fight about?
we fight about things.
Oh. Things, yeah, I understand, yeah. So, say something nice about her.
No matter how much we fight, we still love each other from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, that's so sweet. MashaAllah. Okay, remember, told you, what did I tell you? If you raise your hand, what's going to happen? I'm going to pick you. Who do you fight with?
Brother.
What's his name?
Yusuf.
Is he older than you?
Younger than me.
He's younger than you. Well done. Tell me something nice about Yusuf.
Whenever I'm in trouble, he makes my mother let me do fun stuff.
He does, huh? He helps you when you're in trouble. MashaAllah. Okay, thank you, kids. Back. Oh, I'll call you back. Round of applause for our kids. Okay. The reason I did that exercise is because does anybody know the first murder in human history? What is it? Huh? Any child know? What was the first person killed in the world? Ever. The first human being ever killed. Do you know? Yeah. Habil, yes. Habil was killed. By who? By his brother. By his brother. The first time a human being was killed was by a sibling. There's a reason for that. Brothers and sisters are a very close relationship, but it can also be a relationship that has a lot of fights. And it's natural for kids to fight with their siblings. That's a part of life. But if those fights continue and there is no reconciliation and they don't see the good in each other, then this can become a very poisonous thing in a person's life. Just because you're blood, love doesn't necessarily come naturally. Even Musa and Harun alayhim salam didn't get along at one point. You understand? Musa alayhi salam got upset with Harun alayhi salam. That happens. It's a part of life. Yusuf alayhi salam's brothers were the ones who did that to him, who put him in a well. These stories are in the Quran for a reason, because the relationship between siblings is a very delicate one. I'd like the parents here to take note of that. You have to do exercises at home, conversations at home that help siblings become closer to each other. And you can't just say, you have to love each other. You're brother and sister. Why are you always fight? That's not good. Oh, since I got yelled at, now I all of a sudden love you. Nobody does that. That's not how love is formed. But if you have them do activities where they have to work with each other, where they both get rewarded together, and the only way they get rewarded is if they're cooperating with each other. If you facilitate those kinds of activities and conversations, and if you, in the absence of one, say, you know what your brother said about you? Your brother said you're the kindest person. And now they're like, really? He said that? Yusuf said that about me? I just punched him in the face 3 hours ago. I guess I'll only punch him in the back from now on. You can facilitate them developing a better opinion about their siblings. And that, again, goes all the way into adulthood. This kind of thing can go all the way into adulthood. A lot of times the siblings that used to fight with each other and yell at each other and hate on each other the most when they were little, that doesn't get fixed even when they're adults, and they're the ones that drift apart the most. They're the ones that get into arguments the most. So this is it's not a small thing, it's an important thing. So I would like now, as I wrap this up, to have everyone here make dua for everybody else that's here. And I'll of course also make dua for myself and my family. The first dua I would like everybody to make, for all of us, and myself included, is that Allah Azza wa Jal gives us peace and tranquility and safety, and Allah makes the people in our family a source of comfort and security and love and belonging for all of us. The hardest trial in life can be family. The hardest trial in life can be family. If you study the stories of the prophets, you find that the hardest challenges in their life over and over again was some member of the family. Every single time. Nuh and his wife, Lut and his wife, Ibrahim and his father, And so you find, Musa alayhi salam and his adopting father. You find his adopting father, Fir'aun, he adopted him. He raised him as his own. You find Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his uncles. Every time, who's the problem? Family. You can't get rid of family. And that's Allah's way of telling us, even if prophets had problems in their family, you're not going to be safe. You're going to get problems in life, and they will come from family. What we can do, however, the ones that are closest to us, we can facilitate or do things for them, communicate in a way that makes the blessings and the unity and the love of a family stay together. So I pray that for myself, and I pray that for all of you. Also, I want you to pray that those of us that have been scarred by family, some of us have been scarred by family members, and some of those scars are very deep. They're so, physical scars, over time they heal. But emotional scars, when you bring them up, it's like the wound opens up again, like it just happened. So they don't heal that easily. And some people are carrying scars for many, many years. And it's keeping them from being connected with their family again, right? And a lot of times, those family members can also be such that they don't like to heal. They like to make the scars worse every time they get a chance. So all you can do is keep a distance. All you can do is stay safe. So we ask Allah to protect us also from things in our family that are harmful to ourselves and harmful to those that are doing them. Human beings can be difficult creatures. That's just life. That's just how it is. Some of you are challenged with very difficult parents. Some of you with very difficult children. That may be the case. Allahu A'lam. And if that is the case, we pray that Allah makes everybody's trial easy for them. And that Allah Azza wa Jal, at the end of the day, we don't do any wrong to anybody else. So long as we're not doing wrong to anybody else, what they do is between them and Allah. But we shouldn't be doing wrong because somebody else does something wrong. You understand? So that's another dua that I have for you and myself. I'm so happy that I got to meet so many wonderful children and so many families. The purpose of this exercise, I hope you understand, is that as you are leaving, the kinds of questions I asked on stage in front of people are the kinds of questions and conversations you're going to have with each other. You're going to have as a family. And if that can be facilitated and every day, ongoing, you can make those kinds of conversations, I pray Allah uses that as a means to bring all of you closer to each other, and together all of you closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. Thank you so very much for attending today. Thank you to all of our children. A special round of applause for all of them. MashaAllah. And a round of applause for all of our volunteers, everybody who was brave enough to speak up. It's not easy to speak up in front of everybody. It's not easy to express your feelings in front of everybody. So I pray that Allah Azza wa Jal rewards you for all of that. And anybody who felt closer to their family as a result, I pray the blessings of that come into your family. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.